Welcome to the Wizard of Cause, your go-to podcast for social impact, where we speak to innovative businesses, how they give, and of course, the charities that they love and inspire them. Now, whether you're an entrepreneur, a startup founder, or a business professional looking to stay ahead of the curve, the Wizard will show you how to build lasting social impact on the world. Are you ready to grow, give, and be inspired? Let's get started.
Hey, are you looking to scale your business from five figures to six figures or six figures to seven figures? If you are, I have the perfect thing for you. What I want you to do today is I want you to go download a book. This book is going to take you through my 3-pillar system. It's 100% free. All you have to do is go to growfast.cash. I say again, go to growfast.cash and you're going to be able to download my free international best-selling book, which is called Be Good, Be Brief, Be Gone. You can take that book. It's going to help you scale your business to the next level. Again, go download it. Be good, be brief, be gone. Growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash. Enjoy.
Gentlemen, I'm glad to have all of you here with us today. We are talking about the YDSM and
No, YSDM.
YSDM-USA. I'm going to
Correct.
start with buddy Obi, and I'm going to say, like I always do, I say, Obi, tell me who you are, what you are, which is obviously the YSDM-USA, right? And
Right.
Recording in progress.
oh, we got a little echo there.
It's from me. I'm going over my laptop.
That's okay. So, Obi, we'll start with you there. Tell us, tell me who you are. I know who you are, but for the kids in the back, tell me, tell the world who Obi is, what YSDM USA is, and what we're talking about today.
Thank you, Will. It's a pleasure being here. I appreciate the opportunity. My name is Obi Ajayi. I'm a tax and business developer as well as a board advisor, spanning over a period of 17 years and some change. I'm also the general secretary of this lovely organization, nonprofit organization called YSDM-USA Inc., and the full meaning of which is Yoruba Self-Determination Movement based in the United States of America. About YSDM, we are a nonprofit organization dedicated to the empowering and advocacy for individuals of Yoruba descent, as well as those within the United States and across the world at large, fostering community development, educating the world, and preserving the rich cultural heritage of the Yoruba people. Our mission is to bridge gaps in education, leadership, and socio-economic opportunities by providing impactful programs and initiatives that uplift communities across the United States and beyond. Through cultural heritage, through cultural advocacy, youth mentorship, educational scholarships, and leadership development, we intend to go all out and make our presence be felt by people of Yoruba descent within the United States and beyond. We believe in creating opportunities, such opportunities that can inspire growth and build bridges within and outside the Yoruba diaspora. So we expect that or plan that within our network of passionate volunteers and supporters, YSDM USA is more than just an organization that is set as a movement for cultural people, pride, community strength, and global impact.
So now you see this speaks so easily and so fluidly from your tongue. So for somebody that's never heard it before, Yoruba, the Yoruba self-determination movement, right?
Right.
Tell me, let's go backwards a little bit. Yes, this part is for like inside of the United States, But tell me a little bit about the Yoruba nation.
Okay, so Yoruba nation is a nation of tribes, nation of kingdoms that is currently located in the southwestern part or southwestern region of Nigeria, uh, in Africa. I needed to add that. It is globally renowned for its rich history, vibrant culture, intricate arts, and profound contributions to literature. Uh, we are also known globally for our culture and language. The Yoruba people have preserved their unique traditions and languages with influencing various cultures or while influencing various cultures across the world. When I say languages, I'm talking about tribal languages, dialects, and stuffs like that. Because of the different unique kingdoms within the Yoruba land itself. The Yoruba people are also known and celebrated for their mythology, which includes a pantheon of deities. We call them Orisha in Nigeria or in Yoruba land. These Orisha are central to our spiritual uh, uplifting orientation and base, and our traditions as well. So and it is embraced on a global scale in global religions of across the world, like the Santeria and Kandobi or something like that. Another thing is that we are also artistic in our expressions, ranging from detailed beadwork and bronze sculptures to traditional music and drumming. And these things have captivated audiences all across the world. And you've probably heard, some of them in the arts and entertainment that are worldwide acclaimed these days. You've heard from Davido, you've heard from Burna Boy and stuff like that. In literature, Yoruba luminaries like Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka, you probably heard about him, and other acclaimed authors have brought Yoruba narratives and philosophies to the world stage, showcasing the depth of our thoughts and storytelling prowess. Truly, the Yoruba tribe stands as a beacon of cultural richness and artistic heritage recognized all across the world.
That was a little bit, that was a bit of a mouthful. Now, I think we all realize Yoruba was not in Lower Chicago. I think we realized that was that was an African nation. You don't have a Chicagoan dialect. Um,
I had to articulate that part too. So, there's no
no,
gray area. You know what I mean?
yeah, oh, yeah, I do. Okay, so all right, so let me ask you a question. So you're here in America, right? And this is about redefining and helping to establish Yoruba in Africa. Tell me, what are some of your favorite traditions that even here in America that you want to remember or that you do annually and you incorporate amongst your family because it's so important to you?
Dr. Gade, do you want to take on that?
Okay, let me try. Let me give it a shot. Um,
Well, it's a personal preference. I mean, everybody has their own thing, right?
let me say that first and foremost, the Yoruba population in America is fairly noticeable. I think you were um, throwing a joke the other time you talk about Chicago. If you go to Chicago, among the diasporan African race there, you'll find notably the Yoruba community. Ditto for New York, California, Maryland, DC, there, what do you call it, Dallas, Houston, Austin, and San Antonio, to just mention a few. And as a group of people, they reflect themselves in their cultural norms, in their marriages, in their child naming, in their heartwarming, housewarming, and also in their, they reflect this in the areas of their dressing, their dancing, and so they are a notable group that even the other African migrants or diasporans uh, will testify, to use that word, will testify that the Yoruba race is very, very significant, and that we reflect ourselves by those areas of our cultural values. Mm-hmm. So today you find that in marriages all across the nation of America or United States is distinguished and very special, unlike other African in the diaspora. In fact, the other African in the diasporas are copying and organizing their wedding ceremony in line with the Yoruba values, such that you would have to ask them which marriage is going on here. Otherwise, you would think it is a Yoruba marriage. So, yeah, I mean, I just came back from Maryland where we had a marriage just recently. So this is the kind of things that showcase the Yoruba race anywhere. And America is not an exception. If you go to Europe, particularly in the United Kingdom, mainly in London, Birmingham, Nottingham, Oxford, and all those places, you cannot but notice among the diasporians that this race, the Yoruba race, is very significant when it comes to their cultural, the culture that they brought from their home country, Yoruba land, to where they are. So by and large, the Yoruba race is such that is very, very proud in their cultural value, and they exhibit it out to let the world knows what they have. I think some Americans would testify of the Yoruba race in South Carolina, in a place called Oyotoji. Oyo is a Yoruba name, is a Yoruba word signifying the kingdom of Oyo. There's an Oyotoji settlement in South Carolina. Everything they do there, their morals, their religion, their dressing, their language is all in Yoruba. And I can't see any other Black race that is that noticeable. If you go to South America, you find Yoruba cultural value shown in places like Brazil, as large as it is, in places like Cuba, in places like Haiti, even in places like Venezuela. There is a Yoruba representation there. I guess it is from the slave trade, but then they maintain that Yoruba value. So unlike any other African diaspora, the Yoruba diaspora is very, very significant in the exportation of their values, their culture, their morals, and it shows in their entertainment, in their food, in everywhere. Today, I'm sure, I'm also proud to say that even in the modern civilization epoch of the kind of skill, even here in America, it will be very easy for you to pick out the Yoruba-ness or the Yoruba people in the economy of America, in the industry of America, like health, like IT, like mention it, virtually every sector of the economy. You find a Yoruba man or a Yoruba woman being proud of our culture and contributing to the economy and the labor force of America. So it's a proud culture. It is a proud culture. Thank you.
Awesome. So we've got Yoruba and its rich cultural heritage. We carry those pieces even into all of the other parts of the world and where we go. But we have now the Yoruba self-determination movement.
Yeah.
What makes this the self-determination movement? And ultimately, what is the end goal what are we doing with Yoruba that is saying this is our self-determination movement? What is the finish line that we're running to here with the YSDM?
Permit me to come in here with the understanding that if I miss anything out, my other colleagues will chip in. Basically, since the incoming of the colonialists, the British Empire colonialists into that part of Africa, they have kind of mitigated or stopped the growth of the value and ascendancy of the Yoruba race. Before the incoming of the colonialists, the Yoruba race has its influence virtually almost all across West Africa. The political head of the Yoruba at that time was the Alaafin of Oyo. We have the religious head at a place called Ile-Ife. We have the political head at a place called Oyo. And the political head has swelled all over a large swamp of West Africa, up to present-day Benin Republic, Togo Republic, and part of Ghana Republic. But by the incoming of the colonial British rule, which wasn't as a result of conquering, they didn't conquer, they didn't have a conquering effect on the Yorubas. It was a kind of trade negotiation. They came by way of trade that they want to trade with the Africans. They lump us together as Africans. And then later it came to, oh yeah, we'll provide you some protection against internecine war within yourself. And the Yoruba thought, okay, well, that's fine. If we are trading with you, we are exchanging ideas, that's fine. Not understanding that as they were discussing, somewhere far away in Berlin, the Europeans are gathering together to check out or knife out African nations. And as such, the British Empire was looking at the possibility of this large chunk of civilized people that they can say, we have a stronghold here. And as a result, they had their own in the southern part of the present-day Nigeria. And then they went to the north and conquered. They conquered the northern Muslim race. But because the economy of the north cannot sustain their rule, the economy of the south was buoyant enough that they felt that when they merged the two together, the economy of the north, the south, will sustain the economy of the north. So they brought us together and gave us a name called Nigeria. And from that moment, they started using the human, material, economic resources of the South to sustain the North. So while we thought that for a nation, that would be, but up till now, there is no national identity. Nigeria is not a nation. It's a contraption, as we say, of different races, different tribes, different ethos being merged together. That merging has not resulted in anything good. You may probably recollect that we experienced a 30 months civil war in Nigeria. It is because another race felt that they were being marginalized and they wanted to pull out. So we had that war. So the idea of YSDM today, to answer your question now with that background, is that, look, we are tired of unequal marriage alliance that is going on in Nigeria being sustained by force. We want to determine ourselves as ourselves. We could trade with them, we could relate with other parts of Nigeria, but we are a different race. Religiously, we are different. Culturally, we are different. Language, we are different. All other ethos that makes a people, you can't find it in the so-called Nigeria. In fact, everybody is kind of wanting to be their own, but we are not concerned about anybody because we are not fighting with anybody. We just say, we want to determine the life of our people, our children, our next generation and generation yet to come. We want to go back to whom we used to be. And so Our effort now at the self-determination is that we want to do everything legitimate, everything possible, everything humane to decide who we actually are. We are not Nigeria. That experiment has failed. The experiment of Nigerialization has failed with great calamitous consequences on the Yorubas. So that is why you find YSDM as Yoruba self-determining their future. Is a movement that wants to decide where we go from here. And we in the United States, we retain that idea because that idea is not what we are telling the people back home. It's what they have said they wanted. And because we are here, relatively peaceful, we believe that the kind of democracy that America is enjoying is a universal one. And if only you would extend it to Yoruba race, America will also profit from it because the Yoruba people haven't said everything. They are peace-loving. They like life. They enjoy life to its fullest. They don't want anything catastrophic. If otherwise, we could have gone to war. But we said, no, no, no. There are more decent way of ascertaining your own life. And we want to do it peacefully.
So in tying into what Dr. Bade Adekunjo just said, by the way, thank you for that thorough job on that, is that I want to reference the United Nations Charter that supports our self-determination advocacy effort, among other things that our organization plans to set forth. One is the Article 1, Section 2 of the UN Charter, which outlines the purposes of the United Nations. Article 55 of the UN Charter links self-determination to human rights and international peace by stating, quote, with a view to the creation of conditions of stability and well-being which are necessary for peaceful and friendly relations among nations based on respect for the principle of equal rights and self-determination of peoples. The United Nations shall promote, and then they went on and promoted or stated a handful of things that are of interest to us. But the covenant in Article 1 says that all peoples have the rights of self-determination, and by virtue of that right, they freely determine their political status and freely pursue their economic, social, and cultural development. And to tie in back to what Dr. Bade also said, one of the main reasons the Yoruba nation decided to separate from Nigeria was because the country, Nigeria, and its government has been taken over, literally speaking, by Fulani terrorists of ISIS, Boko Haram, and extreme fundamental Islamist descent who are bent on forceful Islamization of Nigeria in totality. And they have decided to forcefully subdue the Yoruba people and take over our land. We see them on a daily basis. At this point, there is literally no area, no region of Nigeria that is considered secure, and including ours. But we are making frantic efforts to kind of work on that. And this is one of the reasons why we are advocating for the opportunity to self-govern or self-secure our area. With the aid of the Nigerian government, these people are now on a mission to inflict genocide on the Yoruba people in their bid to forcefully take over our land. And thus, it became literally necessary for self-sustenance to separate from Nigeria so that we can confront this imminent danger and pursue the security and prosperity of our people.
The Nigerian government is aiding them in doing this?
Yes. Because there's no other way to understand or rationalize or logically reason that you literally have Fulani herdsmen and terrorist organizations at different pockets around forests all across Nigeria, including our land, where you have them coming into town, kidnapping people, taking them to the bushes, the forests, and taking on ransoms, not small ransoms, because they need the ransom to acquire more ammunition, more equipment, in order to further infiltrate into the inlands.
So the end goal for YSDM is to self-determine the Yoruba nation as its own land with its own people, which it already is, but maintaining its own country and its own borders with a rich cultural heritage. So I've got to ask you then one question. It's an important question. It's the deep question. I'd like to hear from all of you here. I want you to think about this. If you were 8 years old, what was your favorite food? Because it's so hard, our food makes us a people, right?
Yeah.
It's one of those things, and the odd thing is sometimes food locks us in time, right? And
Right.
so my grandmother is no longer on this earth. She's not here. She's not in Yoruba, right? She is with the Lord. But if I was an 8-year-old boy, I know where I would want to be.
Right.
So, Obi, Ojo, John, Mr. Araconjo, what is, if you were an 8-year-old little boy, what is the one food stuff that you would go and get right now that if you could go grab it?
Looking to grow your business beyond 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures plus, what I want you to do is go download this book. The title is called Be Good, Be Brief, Be Gone. It will help you grow your business past 5, 6, and 7 figure. Go download the book today, growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash, and download the book for absolutely free.
One that readily comes to mind every step of the day, every step of the way. In fact, the immediate first response that came to mind when you asked that is jollof rice. Jollof rice is Yoruba land's one of Yoruba land's best dishes, and it's the best form of jollof rice across the world.
Tell me about what makes jollof rice jollof rice? What is it?
Jollof rice is rice cooked, boiled, and then mixed with very sauced sauce, tomato, pepper, Maggi, and a host of other oil and a host of other things with fish. Some even put shrimps in it and a host of other things. By the time the whole thing is finally done, especially the fact that it is spicy. Oh my!
You've got agreement in the background. Okay, I'll be over in a couple of hours. You talked me into it. I'm ready. Right?
Okay.
Indeed.
Ojo, what about you?
Yes. Apart from jollof rice, we also talk of moi moi. Moi moi is made from beans and specially made, and Yorubas loved it so much.
Beans
also is inyan, we call it, is a pounded yam. Yoruba love eating pounded yam, especially when they have soup along with it, with vegetables, well-cooked vegetables. We love it so dearly. And we could eat that pounded yam 3 times a day. Eat it in the morning, eat it in the afternoon, and eat it in the evening. We love it.
All right, now, Araconjo, you were agreeing here with Obi.
Yes, I do.
On the jollof, but is that what you would go for, or you got your own thing?
Jollof rice is number one, and I think Mr. Johnson is already agreed to that, but he was just trying to mention other second-class cuisine that Yoruba people like. But I think after jollof, I think it's amala now. These days, amala with goose with veggie. Amala is second now.
So you're making OB
In
happy.
fact,
Describe it. Describe it.
Amala is number 2 now. It used to be pounded yam that is number 2 after jollof rice, but I think Amala with goosey, I mean with gravy and ewedu soup had taken over number 2 spot.
Being here
So
in America, what's the
yeah,
hardest for you to recreate? Because
Okay.
sometimes we can bring spices over, sometimes we can, but we can't always get the exact ingredients. So it's not exactly like back home. What's the
do
hardest to
you want me to
recreate?
answer that question? This is
Anybody,
Dr. Lady.
anybody.
I would tell you, it's things are easy now. People like I don't know when Mr. Ajayi came, but I've been here since '89. When I first came here, there was nothing like pounded yam. There was nothing like amala. There was nothing even rice. We have to contend with the rice that we can buy at the store. So that time we used to make pounded yam or anything that looks like pounded yam from Jiffy flour. I don't know if you know what Jiffy flour is.
I know Jiffy flour, right?
Okay. You guys use Jiffy flour to make like I think cake and cookies and stuff like that. But when we came, that was the closest to what we eat back home that we can mix and use to make something that looks like pounded yam or fufu. There's also fufu. So that thing was closest to fufu. So we will buy it and make it and start and mix it without water, and then it becomes solid. And we eat it like you eat it with vegetable soup or okra or I don't know if you know what okra is, but the okra soup.
Okra. I'm from the
Yeah.
South. I'm from Savannah, Georgia.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
We
good.
eat okra
So
like
you have
crazy.
an idea of what okra. Yeah. But the way we make our okra is you have to slice it and dice it to small pieces and then whip it so that it will be drawing and then you cook it so it's very slippery and dry. So when you
Slimy.
cook
Okra
that
gets
jiffy,
slippery.
yeah,
Slimy. Meant slimy.
it is slimy. It becomes slimy, and when you pull it, it will draw. So
We can't hear you again, Dr. Shagun.
It's gone
He
completely.
might have dropped
Ah,
off.
okay, his
But
line,
There
I
you
think
are.
it's back.
like his network
yeah,
is.
okay.
I was just getting into the recipe. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm back now. So when you
Can you
cook the
show your face,
okra,
by the way? By the way, can you show
oh,
your
okay,
face?
I can. Okay, by the way, I'm in homeland in Lagos, so I'm
Oh,
enjoying beautiful weather here. So I'm in my office in my house in Lagos. Anyway, so the okra soup, you will cook it, put some fish, some meat. Well, pomo is very popular. I don't know if you know what pomo is.
Mhm.
Pomo is like cow skin, and then sometimes we put goat meat and crayfish. So you cook it together, it draws, and then you spice it up. And then when you mix your Jiffy, and it makes it into something that looks like pounded yam, then you can take it with your hand, roll it in your fingers, and then put it in
swallow
the
it.
okra and then swallow it. So that was what we used to do like 25, 30 years ago. But now everything is available. Pounded yam is here. Even some people bring mortar because that pounded yam, it used to be made by cooking yam and cutting it into small pieces and then putting it in a big mortar and pounding it until it becomes like a paste, or not like very fluid paste, but solid paste. and then you can just then start to eat it with your fingers and eat it with vegetable soup or okra soup or ewedu soup, and then but now people buy the flour. You can mix the flour like Jiffy, and it will just give you exactly the same thing as pounded yam. But some people have actually brought their own mortar. I don't know how they got it to America. I have some friends that have their mortar and they can actually pound the yam
Well,
here. So
we have mortars, here in America, so that you can use to make it. So
yeah,
Most families today, permit me
yeah,
to interject,
yeah.
they
Okay.
use what they call, I almost forgot just now.
Pondo. Pondo
No,
flour.
not just pan. No, they
Okay.
stuff, they blender. They use
Yeah.
a
Oh,
machine called the
yeah.
blender. They
Yeah,
cut
you can blend
yams
it.
into pieces, boil it, and then drop it into the blender, close it up, and switch off the electricity, which runs the motor. And that one chews the yam together and make it into pounded anything, like you would do with a mixer, a blender mixer. So it brings out the real flavor of what people back home enjoy. So today, like Dr. Akomalide is saying, we one cannot claim to say that we don't enjoy home cooked meal as they do back in Nigeria. And this is also in Europe, here in America, and in the diaspora, everywhere where you find a Nigerian, they enjoy the same thing. The economy has made it possible. I mean, there's a huge Yoruba market in America now, so that entrepreneurs who want to venture in bringing in local food can do it by with the idea that they will make profit because the population is huge. So that's one area where the Yorubas are contributing to the economy of America.
that's
So,
wonderful.
sorry,
I like it
Mr.
when
Will.
we start talking about food. All of a sudden, we're excited, and
Yeah.
but I'm
Mis-
also from, I'm from Savannah, Georgia. I'm in the deep, deep South, right? And
Yeah.
most of
Yeah.
our cooking was influenced from the African nations, right? So
Yeah.
much of it came here. Um, and when we go up north, we can't find it.
That's right.
No.
They don't eat okra. They don't eat, these pieces. I mean, we've been having okra and yams and everything else since time unimaginable. Um,
Sorry,
uh,
Mr. Will.
sir?
Yes, I would like to bring us back to the question of why we want to get out of Nigeria. In yesterday newspaper, most newspapers in Nigeria yesterday reported that 51.88 million cases of kidnapping were reported in the last 12 months. 51.58 million cases of kidnapping, of which 2.23 trillion naira were collected as ransom. So that security, that type of a country is a gun. And
Almost 52 million kidnappings.
Cases,
yes,
Yes.
Cases of kidnapping.
cases
reportings,
of kidnapping.
reported cases, reportings.
Yes,
That is huge.
yeah. In yesterday newspaper, most newspaper in Nigeria carried that news yesterday, December 18, 2024.
So, okay, so we've covered a lot. We know about Yoruba. Um, we got to walk down the road of some food and some recipes. Made some of us very excited. Ojo had to give us the very bad news. There's a good news
Coming
for.
back to reality, yeah.
I know, and right, and that's the sad thing of it. There's with home, with nation, there's good, there's bad, there's health, there's family, there's grandmother, there's food. There's also the bad things of why you want your own secure land, secure people, secure nation.
Yes.
Um, we know about Yoruba which we know is in Africa. It's not in the south of Chicago. We may have
No.
people in Chicago and the United Kingdom, right, all over Britain and every place else. But so here's a question, and it's always where the rubber meets the road, right?
Yes.
How can people, this can be all over, but how can people, especially in America, support the mission for the YSDM, the Yoruba Self-Determination Movement, and contribute to the vision of, well, I mean, let's face it, of a sovereign Yoruba nation?
Thank
Well,
you so much for asking that, Will. If I may take that question. Supporting the mission of YSDM-USA begins with the understanding that the organization's goals and visions are one thing here and there. It's another thing to create an open door policy where we welcome the involvement of people all across the world in many forms. One of which will be through volunteering, donating, attending our events, and or advocating for policies that empower Yoruba communities all across the world, especially in our homeland. To contribute to the vision of a sovereign Yoruba nation, we encourage individuals to engage in cultural preservation, economic development initiatives, and educational programs that will be hosting and facilitating from time to time, aimed at fostering pride in Yoruba heritage, Yoruba language, culture, arts, entertainment, food, and advocacy is also a very key part of what we want to encourage folks to engage in, raising awareness about the need for self-determination and amplifying the voices of the Yoruba people on global platforms. Also, collaboration is something that will be very crucial. So in light of that, we want to encourage partnerships with individuals, organizations, and governments to create sustainable solutions that promote peace, development, and cultural exchange. Everyone has a role to play in building a future where Yoruba people can thrive, both independently and as a valued part of the global community. So in light of all of that, I would encourage anyone who wants to participate with us, either as an advocate, a diplomat, or individuals who want to volunteer with us or donate or attend our events, to visit our website. It is YSDM-USA.org. It's currently under construction, but will soon be finished in a couple of days. So that will be a way to tap in, and from that portal, you will find different ways to participate and engage with us.
Well, awesome. Especially since by the, when we release this, it'll be, right, probably a week and a half later by the time the team finishes getting all the pieces and polishing it. So that part of that website will be up.
Yeah.
I'd also like to now remember, for anybody watching, we're going to have links down below, right? That you can click on. You'll be able to go directly to ysdm.org and look and see about them. I want to also encourage people right here in the United States and Canada, if you have a business and you would like to help the Yoruba people in their self-determination process, right? Secure their own nation, secure their own border, and allow many other children to be 8 years old and talking with their grandmother and eating their favorite foods, whatever they may be, right? We're going to have a link below, and you can make it where, and there's a portion. Remember, when the Visa MasterCard charges your business's fees, there's a portion that goes back into the system, but it's allowed to go to a charity that you love, just like the Yoruba Self-Determination Movement. Also, I want to encourage you, if you would like to get out the word of the Yoruba nation and these peoples, Obi and his team, feel free to download this piece and put it on any of your own social media pieces. We want the YSDM to be a well-known movement, right? And at the end of the day, a little extra, a few extra pair of eyeballs, a few extra people getting our information out to the world. a good and safe Yoruba is good for the people. It's good for the world. Obi, did I miss anything?
No, you
Yeah,
captured it
yeah,
pretty well. Except
you
if
did
any one
well.
of our people here want to chip
Let,
in one
let,
or
let
two
me
other
add
words.
Chip in.
let me add one or two things to it.
Go
You
ahead.
see, the thing is, you might be looking at it from our own point of view, but Yoruba nation is actually a big benefit to the whole world. And why? Because before slavery, before colonization, Yoruba culture, Yoruba people were the dominant culture in Africa. Or the language of trading in Africa and most part of West Africa and most part of Africa was Yoruba, all the way to Mali, to Ghana, to
Gambia.
Gambia. Everybody uses Yoruba as a means of communication for trading because
That's incredible.
we are
Right.
very well known people as very civilized, very sociable, and very.
Listen.
We lost him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know whether this would factor in, but let me just throw it out there. We are looking for every means possible that will create peaceful coexistence. If you are current with Africa or the whole world today, there is one conflict somewhere, conflict the other, and people want to look for other places to go, and that is where you find an upsurge in refugee asylum seekers all over the world, particularly into America. We don't want that. We want people to stay where they are, where possible, and be part of the peace to the whole world. The Yorubas are so large in population. We don't want a war that will cause people to begin to flood into the United States seeking for asylum. The Yoruba man is proud enough. He's skilled enough. He's educated. Perhaps the most educated entity in the whole of Africa. You can find that out. And you can't continually have the brains of that kind of race emigrating from where they are to other parts of the world. It will come to a time when it doesn't go well for peace. So the YSDM's role is to self-determine within its own peaceful area. We don't want to disrupt the peace of the world like Sudan and like Ethiopia, like other areas. We want to work out our own nation as peacefully as possible without creating catastrophe all over the world. So it is in the best interest of every part of the world, particularly America, to come to the aid of working out this process peacefully as could be, so that the indigenous people of Yorubas, like any indigenous part of the world, which Mr. Ajayi was trying to say, could self-determine without disrupting the peace of the world. We don't want to go to war, not because we are afraid of winning, but we just don't want to disrupt the world peace. And so we ask every American, please come to us, go to our website, read, peruse, ask questions, visit our cultural ceremony, like you are talking about people in Savannah and in Georgia, which I have friends there, and I'm sure most of us here have connection with Georgia generally. Go to our naming ceremony. Go to
You
our
have
wedding
one right
ceremony.
here.
Yeah, go to our wedding ceremony. Mingle, ask questions, taste our food, and I can guarantee you, without anybody forcing you, Yoruba tradition will be your second option from your traditional Georgian culture. You will love it. And that is what we want to sell to the world, a peaceful race that is
Hey,
aiming to self-determine.
why can't it be their first preference? They might know a lot of bad cooks. That might be their first preference, right?
That
After
may
that
be
rice you're
that's fine.
describing,
That's fine. But I know that your pilot, I know that your pilot is used to Georgian food, but I'm also thinking down the road, maybe your children, and then you begin to have a different, more better perspective of the Yoruba race. That's what we want. We don't want to cause trouble anywhere.
Agreed. I love it. Again, we're going to put links for the ysdm.org so you can look directly at all of their own information below. And of course, if like I said, if you have a business and you say, I want to help the Yoruba people and their self-determination movement, you can redirect a portion of the fee that you paid to the Visa MasterCard system to run your business every month. And instead of it going back into the system, it can go instead to the YSDM. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being with me here today. I love this. I'm going to go look up some recipes as soon as we're off of here. I'm going to show up at OB's place in a few hours because he's cooking, he told me. And we're going to be having dinner there tonight.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's a
Thank
pleasure
y'all
being
so
here. I
much for
appreciate
coming.
the opportunity.
Hey, we all want to scale our business. Hey, I have the answer for you today to help you do that. If you're looking to scale from 5, 6, even 7 figures and beyond, book called Be Good, Be Brief, Be Gone. I'm going to give it to you for free. All you have to do is type in growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash, and you can download the book for absolutely free. I hope the book helps you this year. Take your business to the next level. Again, go grab the book, growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash. I wish you the best and grow, scale, and win.
That wraps up today's episode of The Wizard of Cause. We hope you've enjoyed the insights and ideas shared in today's conversation. Now, if you found value in this episode, don't forget to subscribe and tell us how we're doing. Your feedback helps us bring you more content that matters. And of course, stay connected with us for updates, tips, and more. Until next time, keep giving, take care, and keep making an impact.
There it is. Magnum. Holy moly.
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for!
Dear God. It's beautiful.